Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 159, and today's date is December 17th, 2020. Thank you for joining me right here on the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. I'm Troy West, and thank you for joining me for another edition of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is the Thursday Night Football edition, as we will preview tonight's game between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders, which is both probably a mess up the cities. I know before I get through this whole video, of course the Chargers was a long time in San Diego, and of course the Raiders just need to move to Las Vegas this season, coming from Oakland. So I might slip up and call them the Oakland Raiders, might slip up and call the Chargers the San Diego Chargers, so just be warned about that. Chargers coming at 4-9, Raiders coming at 7-6, trying to still make the playoffs, so it's a crucial game for them tonight. Chargers coming off a win against the Atlanta Falcons in a tight one. Raiders been slipping a little bit, gave up 44 points in a loss to the Indianapolis Colts last week. Both these teams already played this season. Of course, the division rivals in the AFC West. And if you remember that game, this game was probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Justin Herbert actually threw a touchdown pass in the end zone, but it was dropped by I think it was a tight end, and initially on the field they called it complete, but then they had to review it. It was the last play of the game. It showed that he dropped the ball, so that was a crushing loss for the Chargers there. In the first minute, losing 31-26. So the Chargers try to get revenge on that game to even up the season series. But Justin Herbert, if we start with the Chargers here, what a rookie season he's put together. I was looking at his stats this morning. Actually, I have him right here. I think 25 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions, a little high, but not bad for a rookie. Almost 35,100 yards, so having a good year. A lot of probably exceeded expectations. 6th pick in the draft. That was little rumbles about that at the time it happened. Thinking they should have took someone else. But he's coming there. He got thrown into the starting job, remember, because Tyrod Taylor, it was an accident injury by the doctors, punctured his lung. Herbert stepped in there, played well, and they stuck with the kid. Record, 4-9, like I said, but Chargers show some promise, especially this young kid. So keep building the team around him. The offense, to me, is fine. They still got to finish drives. Sometimes I've never seen a lot of Chargers games this year, but averaging just 22 points a game on offense. So I'm just guessing that maybe he don't finish some drives. Maybe just be too many field goals instead of getting in the end zone. But he's definitely been a bright spot for the Chargers this year. Anthony Lynn, been a lot of rumbles about him losing his job. I talked about that before. I believe if he is definitely directly on Herbert's success, like if he's the guy in his ear, the guy that's putting him in the positions that he's put him in, I think you stick with Lynn just for that reason. Just to give some continuity to Herbert in his young career. Now, if he don't have nothing to do with the offense per se, even though he's the head coach, if he's more of a defensive-minded coach, I don't know this. But if he, like I said, if he's not directly touched on Herbert, then maybe you think about letting him go. But I don't know. I think, sports in general, I think sometimes you jumped the gun too early. He has made the playoffs with the Chargers. Of course, they beat as a Raiders fan, I know they beat the Ravens 2 years ago. So he's done some good things, but there's more rumblings that he's going to lose his job. But I think if he does have a lot to do with Justin Herbert's development, I would keep him just for that. And then maybe next year, if things don't improve, then I probably would let him go. I would bring him back if if that's the case. But I don't blame the Chargers, I guess, for moving on. I mean, that's what everybody do if you think you can put yourself in a better position for your franchise. I guess you make that move. But personally, I wouldn't do it. I would see how he does in the beginning of next year. And then maybe if they start off slow, maybe you let him go. Maybe you have some type of backup plan next year. But the way it's looking like he might be let go. So we'll see on Black Monday, which is serious. He's only got 3 games left. So in my opinion, I think they should keep him. But the future looks bright for the Chargers. The only thing is the future looks brighter for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs is in your division, so that's going to be tougher. The Raiders, I think they're going to continue to improve throughout the years as well. So they're just in a tough division, and Denver is not a slouch either. Drew Lock looks pretty good overall. Maybe Denver finally found their quarterback after Peyton Manning. And you know, the defense always been decent with Von Miller, so you're just in a tough division. So you just going to have to win these tough games. But now that they expanded the playoffs to 7, you know, maybe you'll always compete for a wild card. But the AFC West is well, both West divisions, the NFC West as well. They are a very tough division. I think the Chargers is a talented team. They're just in a tough division. Like I say, you got them, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos. They're not teams you can just roll over. So I think for that case, it's going to be tough for them. But I think they're capable of doing it. Justin Herbert keeps developing. The defense gets better because the defense has been bad this year. Joey Bosa can't do it by himself. I think the Chargers will be all right in the future. Let's talk about the Vegas Raiders now. Still weird to say that, but improved this year at 7-6. Like I said, huge loss to the Colts last week, 44-27. Pretty much almost a must-win now. They don't hold the tiebreaker to the Colts. We're gonna look at the playoff picture in a few minutes, right after we get into the power rankings. But I know they're on the outside looking in right now. They probably have to win out realistically to make a playoff spot. You got the Ravens bunched in there, the Dolphins, the Colts, or the Titans. One of those teams probably guaranteed, or both, going to guarantee to get in. So all these teams are bunched up together. Cleveland Browns. So got a lot of teams as you try to reach the wild card. So it's gonna be tough for them. But that loss last week was devastating. But what's going on with the defense? I looked up this morning. Other than the Jets game that they did win, because they only this is the last 5 games. They only 2-3. The Jets game, they should have lost that game. Like everybody know what happened with that. The bad play call defense by Greg Williams was made him lose his job. Everybody know that's why the Raiders when they go. The Raiders probably want to win that game. But even with that game, other than that game, in the last 5, they gave up 37. Oh, I'm wrong. They won that game against Denver. So, but. Alright, let's just take the last 3 weeks. They had given up at least 28 points. 35 in a loss to the Chiefs. Then they got blown off the map to Atlanta, giving up 43 points. And then last week, giving up 44 points. And of course, the Jets game, they gave up 28, which they won. But still, the defense has been bad. But then I look at the injury report. They got a lot of defensive guys out. Damian Arnett, Colin Farrell, Nicholas Morrow, they all out. McKinley been put on IR. They got the injury report is a long list of defensive players. And now that I think about it, when they played Kansas City, the game I just brought up, they had a lot of injuries on defense, and it's really showing because the defense haven't been able to do anything, and they playoff hopes, which I wrote down here, is pretty much dwindling. Like they would have to win out, and probably still would have some of these other teams to lose a game or two to get in, but we're gonna get into the playoff picture more deeper in the few. So I touch back on that before we leave today. Derek Carr quietly having a decent season. His numbers pretty much comparable to Herbert's. Less yardage with 3,300 yards, but 24 touchdowns, just 7 picks. He made some big throws. He made the big throw against the Jets that I mentioned. And Waller, the tight end, he's been a beast out there for him. But the offense a little, way more consistent than it's been. I like that, cause I liked them when they made the playoff run a few years ago. He got hurt, unfortunately, that year, but I think he got the talent. If you put talent around, I think he could do pretty well. And John Gruden with his offensive mind, we knew that the offense was going to improve, but the defense somehow got to put together. And it's not going to be no easy game tonight with Herbert and Keenan Allen out there. So this is going to be a very interesting game tonight. But the Chargers with injuries as well, losing Eckler for the year. So, but I still think the offense is going to challenge this Raiders defense tonight, which is going to make it tough for them. The Raiders' future, like I said, you're in a tough division with the Chiefs, with the Chargers. Like I said, the Chargers will be a formidable opponent. So is the Denver Broncos. Like next year, all these teams come back. History is going to be healthy. We're going to see. Will the Chiefs be defending champions again? That'll be something to see. But the Chiefs are on another level. They definitely separate themselves from everybody else in the division. But we could argue the rest of these teams is pretty much neck and neck. Like I said, Denver is nothing to sneeze at either. So this is going to be a tough division for a long time. Very interesting division. Let's see how many times Kansas City gets through this division. And can they catch up to them at least a little bit to make it harder for them? I think the Chiefs only lost one to, they only lost to the Raiders, so they only lost was a division loss, and that was probably the Raiders' biggest win of the season. But the final verdict on this game, I think Las Vegas gets it done somehow. I think they know they need this win to keep the playoff hopes alive. I think they lose this game, it's pretty much over for them for the playoffs this year. Chargers trying to continue to improve. I think if they make a push, maybe they'll think about, like I said, keep it after they win. I think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a high-scoring game because I think this Raiders defense is going to give up some points that I think the Chargers probably slip to. But I think the Raiders with another tight game, and they win it by 3. I think it's going to be 34-31. That's my final score. I think the Raiders will win this game. I went back and forth. Even this morning, I got a feeling like maybe I should pick the Chargers. I like the way Justin Herbert been playing. The Raiders defense been so bad. I think maybe he could pull out the end of the game before, the Raiders already beat him in a tight game. But I think the Raiders know they have to win this game for a playoff spot. I think they'll be a little bit more motivated. I think the defense will make a couple plays. But I think overall they're going to get torched again. And I think it's going to be a high score thing. 34-31 Raiders. I think they win. Keep their slim playoff hopes alive tonight. Alright, we're going to get to the power rankings. Then we'll look at, like I said, the playoff picture going into the weekend. Power rankings very interesting this week. The Steelers have lost 2 in a row. Other teams are trending: Bills, Packers. So let's see where I put all of that together. I'm going to start from 5 and work my way up to 1. Some teams that could be on this list. Matter of fact, let me pull up the standings here because that's where I gotta go at to look at the playoff picture anyway. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Like, it's gonna be tough the next few weeks. I think the top 2 to me was easy, but then after that, I had to think long and hard. Who I really want to put in here due to everything that's been happening the last few weeks. So, yep, okay. Alright, so let's start at number 5. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They fall from 3 to 5 this week. Bills was able to defeat them Sunday night. Steelers, like I said, man, I probably said this, the direct analogy. They've been skating on ice for the last month and a half. They haven't looked sharp at all, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The defense have played well, but now they got injuries. Pittsburgh been doing that quick, which is smart. Get the ball out your hands. Big Ben getting the ball out of his hands quick, and then receiver making one move, getting free, breaking a tackle. Juju Sucha, Washington, but they've been dropping balls, which has been an issue. The running game haven't been doing too well. James Carter been in and out. You know, he had COVID. So he's been in and out of the lineup. The running game ain't giving consistent either. So the offense definitely had to put something together. Or the Steelers might be in trouble when it comes playoff time. I still think they're going to hold on and win the division. They got Cincinnati Monday night, which I think is pretty much almost an automatic win. No offense to the Bengals. If they had Burrow, I think that would have been fine. And the Bengals, you know, they played them without Burrow. Or did he get hurt in that game? I'm not sure, but they, yeah, I think he got hurt in that game. I think that's the game he got hurt in, I believe. But against the, you know, upper competition, Pittsburgh never looked good, you know. So they fall from 3-5 at 11-2. At 4, the team that just beat them, the Buffalo Bills. Been impressive. Josh Allen having a quiet MVP year. People say MVP. I mean, he ain't gonna win it, but he's having a good year. They was 5 last week. They moved up to 4. Only thing about the Bills is they're the Bills, really. Like defensively, they're not too bad. Offensively, they pretty average, you know, or above average on both sides of the ball. Stephon Diggs been a huge pickup for them this year. I think the run game is a little inconsistent though. But the Bills, they deserve to be up here at number 4. I think they will scare some people in the AFC in the playoffs, and they on the verge of clinching the AFC East for the first time. I think they said since 1995, so that's a long time, 25 years. So number 3, the New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints, yeah, they lost to the Eagles last week. They fell from 2-3. But I'm giving a benefit of the doubt because Drew Brees ain't there, and I don't think he's gonna be ready this week. They said he might be, but I'm not sure. The big game against the Chiefs this week. I don't know if he's gonna be ready or not. But they lost to the Eagles with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill still got some growing up to do at the quarterback position. And the defense still played decently. You know, Jalen Hurts played pretty well for the Eagles, keeping their slim hopes alive. So I give them credit, but I ain't push the Saints down too much because they're not at full strength. But if they lose to the Chiefs this week, which would be another, I don't want to say good loss, but it'd be hard to penalize it too much because the Chiefs are one of the top teams in the NFL. But I got the Saints at number 3 and number 2. I think they started at number 2 to start the season. The Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things, and to me, it's kind of quiet. Like people been talking about him, but I think with Aaron, I guess with the Packers is like, you know, show me in the playoffs. I think the regular season don't matter to some. You know, most people is like, okay, we see him do this over and over again, but can he win in the playoffs? And I think the Packers, I feel different about them this year. I think the defense is pretty decent. They got a running game with Aaron Jones. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers, second year in this system, he looks comfortable, he looks sharp. Devontae Adams having a monster year. They definitely be a formidable team in the NFC. They right now number 1 in the NFC because of the Saints loss, and they beat the Saints this season, so they own the tiebreaker. So even though lately going up the Green Bay haven't been an issue, people since Michael Vick did it back in 2004, 2003, 2004. The Giants would have there won twice, I think, since then. So they lose playoff games at home now. But before Michael Vick, they never have. But still, you still don't want to go to Green Bay in January. So if the Packers can wrap that up, that'd be huge for them. But they come in at number 2. They jump from 4-2, and then the Chiefs, they stay put at number 1, 12-1. Shaky game. They've been in some shaky games as well of late. Pat Mahomes though, he's never out of a ball game. But he's been a little sloppy, you know, 3 interceptions last week. I would say 2 was his fault. I'm still worried about the Chiefs defense. That's what's going to, you know, that's what concerns me. Their defense is hit or miss. Like, you know, if they get pressured, it's fine. But if they don't, the defense could be had. That'll probably be their Achilles heel. But Patrick Mahomes is so good, they're covering that as well. So Chiefs is 30-1. Now they got the best record in the NFL. Now that the Steelers lost 2 in a row, they take over at 12-1. So my power rankings once again: the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5, Buffalo Bills at 4, Saints at 3, Green Bay Packers at 2, and the Kansas City Chiefs at 1. So let's take a quick look at the playoff picture. Let's look at the AFC first, since I want to tell you where the Raiders exactly where they are. Why my thing black out? There we go. Slower than here we go. Of course, Chiefs are number 1 in the AFC at 12-1. Pittsburgh at 11-2. They both already clinched playoff spots for Chiefs, clinched the division. So they're going to be battling for the 1 seed. Buffalo at number 3 at 10-3. So they're only 3 teams with 10 wins or more. Tennessee right there at 9-4, leading the South. Cleveland with the number 1 wild card spot at 5. Colts at 6 at 9-4 as well. Cleveland owns the tiebreaker against the Colts because they beat them this year. Miami right now is your 7th seed. They must own the tiebreaker against the Ravens as they 8-5 as well. So the Ravens out right now, and the Vegas Raiders at 7-6 are out. So that's why I think the Raiders, like, if they lose this game tonight, it's going to be hurtful. I've been hearing people still say New England have a shit. I just think New England need a lot to go right. They would have to win all 3 games for sure, and probably have, Miami. They had Miami lose, Baltimore lose. They would have to have a lot of teams lose as well. I think they played Miami the last week of the season, I believe, or close to the end of the season. So they get a chance to play Miami head to head. So that'll be their opportunity. So they got a slight chance. Denver not officially eliminated, but they're not going to get into that fight. They're just not good enough. So they'll probably be eliminated this weekend. And let's look at the NFC. Like I said, Green Bay and New Orleans are tied at 10-3, but New Orleans lost to the Packers, so the Packers have the tiebreaker, so they 1-2 at 10-3. But New Orleans have clinched the playoff spot. Green Bay have clinched. I think they clinched their division already, I believe. Yes, they have. So the Chiefs and the Packers have clinched their divisions, and Green Bay and New Orleans will battle for that final, that top spot, which is huge this year. The top seed, the only one that gets the bye. So that loss to the Eagles for New Orleans might wind up hurting them. Then they got the Chiefs this week, so that's going to be tough. The LA Rams. LA Rams been playing a lot of real good football. They proved me wrong. They at number 3 at 9-4. At number 4, the Washington football team at 6-7 because they lead in the East, the NFC East. But they play good football. It's just, can the offense get consistent? They're gonna be a scary team come playoff time, and I think they're gonna wind up winning that division. Seattle at 9-4 in the 5 spot. Tampa Bay at 8-5 in the 6 spot. 7-6 Arizona in the 7th spot. So 2 games separate all 3 of those teams. Then you got Minnesota and Chicago holding on for dear life at 6-7. Big game for the Cardinals this week. They play the Giants. I don't know who Minnesota and Chicago play, but Arizona playing the Eagles, I'm sorry, this week. The Giants, I think, not sure who the Giants play either, but Washington, I think, it's in position to win that division. The other teams got a chance. Only team that's really eliminated is Atlanta, but I think the 7 NFC teams are going to hold. I thought Minnesota would catch somebody, but and maybe they can still, the loss to Tampa, but the loss to Tampa hurts them and tiebreakers. So that bottom part of the NFC will be interesting. I think Seattle's going to make it, and I think pretty much Tampa's going to make it. I think it's going to come down to that final spot: Arizona, Minnesota, and Chicago. But the Rams is really impressive. at 9-4. I almost thought about putting them in over the Steelers and dropping the Steelers out. But these still 11-2. I couldn't drop them all the way out the top 5. So that's your current playoff picture. So like I said, got big games this weekend. We'll preview all that. Saturday is gonna be a big day. Coach, you know the NBA is coming soon. Starts next Tuesday, so I'm gonna do a preview show Saturday. So I'm gonna have my regular sports weekly blog. We'll look at MLB. The Cleveland Indians had to change their name. So we got some MLB news this week. We'll talk college football, conference championship games, who will wind up being in that top 4 for the college football playoff. Ohio State, like I said, got a break. They will get to play Northwestern in the Big Ten championship. So we'll talk about all that this weekend, pick out games for week 15. We're not going to do a lot of NBA because I'm going to do a separate show, preview the NBA on Saturday as well. Give you my playoff predictions, MVP, defensive player of the year, whatever, the rookie of the year predictions, who I think will be in the NBA finals, everything. So we have a big preview show on Saturday, preview the NBA season. We had the flip. It's only been 2 months since they last played. Lakers was crowned champions, and like I said, they gotta be the favorites again. But we'll talk all about that on Saturday as well, so look out for that. As far as my other projects, my video game playthroughs, Cyberpunk 2077. Like I said, my focus on the Nomad part of the story. I think overall the story is pretty much the same after the prelude, but we'll see. I'll probably play the other ones every once in a while just to see. But right now I think I put 2 videos up the other day, and now I'm stuck in this gang place trying to get out of there. So that's where the video will start off. I'm gonna do some editing this morning as well. So a lot of stuff coming up. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, I ain't forget about that game. I'm trying to finish that up. I've been focused on Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk takes a lot of space on my hard drive on my PS4. I got the regular PS4. Wish I'd have got the 1 terabyte one because it's no space. I think Cyberpunk takes up a fourth of my space, so that's a lot. And then when you have updates, you gotta have all this space free, which I never understood that. Because I have the space. The space do be free. I got about 100 gig space, but you need the game and whatever the update is space, so it makes it difficult. It usually goes over 100. Usually need more than 100 gigs, so it's just a pain. So I'll be having to delete a game and then re-download it again for the update. Like I had to do it for Call of Duty last night. I had to delete my Spider-Man so I could get the Call of Duty update, which I'm gonna see what the heck is that about. Cause well, I'm still playing Modern Warfare. Me and my brother, we well, I'm not saying I don't like Cold War, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy it if he doesn't buy it. I only play it with him, so so I might buy it later on this year, maybe, but there's a high possibility that I'm not. So we've just been playing Modern Warfare. But yeah, I didn't forget about that project. I didn't forget about Cuphead either. Even though Cuphead, like I said, is, you know, a difficult game. But I've been needing all this space, so I've been just focusing on Cyberpunk. But it's a pain. But yep. So that's where I stand at on my other projects. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be back Saturday. Like I said, we got 2 games on the NFL Saturday: Bills, Broncos, Panthers, Packers. Bills and Packers, big games for them to try to step their position in the playoffs. So we'll have all that Saturday. Then I'm gonna do a separate NBA preview show. So I got a lot to do on Saturday. Gotta get a lot of notes together. So that's what's going on the rest of the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Like you can see tonight, I got the Raiders winning because they need to win, or their playoff hopes might be gone here. I think they defeat the Chargers in a close one. Should be an interesting and entertaining game tonight. So hopefully you watch if you're a football fan. Definitely worth watching tonight. I just want to say thank you to the supporters that I do have. Like I said, days have been so rough, man. Well, like I said, for everybody doing this year, but like I said, days been rough for me as far as my personal life. It's been kind of rough. So, and I admit I don't get, obviously you see my subscribers, I have barely none, but I do have people that consistently, every once, maybe once, I'm not gonna say once in the blue moon, but maybe once a week, comment on my videos. People that I've known for a couple of years, subscribers that I know, so I appreciate that. And like I said, it might sound selfish for me to say this, but I like doing these vlogs and my video game playthroughs. It's helped me mentally, because it's something that I like to do. It would be great to have a little bit more support, but at the same time, my main focus is just to try to keep my mind positive. So that's why I still do the vlogs, even though sometimes I don't feel like it. Like today, I didn't, it was hard for me to come on here today, but I still wanted to. I know it was a big game tonight, so I didn't want to skip it. Then, I was out for a few weeks because of the internet, so I want, since I'm able to, I want to stay on here. So, but I appreciate everybody that supports me, period, and it's highly appreciative. But it's more of a self-therapy thing for me. Even my video game playthroughs don't get a lot of views, or get just be honest. But I do it, more for myself. But if things start to turn around and things start to heat up, then that's great as well. But I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it hurts a little bit, to be honest with you. I thought I'd be doing a little bit better. Thought I'd be having a little bit more support, but you just gotta, keep pushing, and that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I do this as far as for me and my mental state. So that's why I come over here every weekend, do the blogs anyway, even when I don't feel up to it. But Saturday I'm excited because, like I said, we got a lot of sports going on. NBA starts, so we have a lot to talk about this week. James Harden thing is starting to get crazy, so we have a lot to talk about this weekend. So I thank you once again. Stay warm and stay safe. Coronavirus is out of control again here in this country. Here in Maryland, where I am, it's kind of bad. Weather-wise, like I said, we just got hit with a little winter storm over here in the Northeast. So especially if you up the more north you go, the worse it was. Like in New York, Boston, in that area, they got hit pretty bad. I think we got about 6 inches here yesterday. So stay safe for that. Just stay safe all around. Continue to wear your mask. Continue to do what you're supposed to do. Stop the spread of the coronavirus. They're giving out the vaccines now, but that's going to be a long process. So still got to try to stay safe. And I thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Enjoy the game tonight. Chargers, Raiders. I got the Raiders winning to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I'll see you guys Saturday. And look out for more Cyberpunk. Maybe even today. I might do a video today since I got some time. I'm going to take a nap definitely first. Thank you guys so much. I'm Troy West. Thank you for joining me right here on the Silent Sports and Gaming channel. Thank you for all the support. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you so much.